There we go. Good morning and welcome back. Good morning. If you haven't noticed yet, I've lost a little weight over the summer. But I do want to take this opportunity to recognize some people who made this convocation possible. First of all, I'd like to thank Greg Brown and Heather Freeman, who's worked hard in the planning of today's convocation for our faculty and staff. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Greg. I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank New River Community College, one of our closest Institute of Higher Education partners. We appreciate not only the work that they do to help us provide opportunities for our students with dual enrollment, but also the unlimited use of their facilities. We'd also like to thank Jose Mendez and John Saunders, who's here with us, always helping us with the technology and the PA system and the audio, and we appreciate those gentlemen as well. We are broadcasting live via the worldwide net, or as Vince Vaughn would say, on the line. We are broadcasting live. It will be available on YouTube. It will be available on our site, and I have to plug our website, our Play Now website, which has many of our football, basketball games uploaded online, available to stream 24 hours a day. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our official convocation photographer, Connie Wood. Connie, where are you? Who's taking pictures and photographs for us today. I'd like to thank our commitment to graduate students and parents who's with us today. Thank you all for being here and taking time out of your day to help us celebrate Convocation. Also, again, we'd like to thank the choir, the drama, and the band. Also, our STEM classroom for being here today. Our National Bank sponsors, Philip Baker, Nancy, we'd like to thank them for sponsoring this morning's breakfast. Finally, I'd like to give a special plug to our 40th anniversary this year. We will be posting information between now and October about the 40th anniversary of Pulaski County High School and the events that will surround that 40th anniversary. So we'd like to congratulate the high school on their 40th. And the events will be held on October 3rd and 4th, and more information will be coming regarding those events. Finally, I'd like to recognize our UniServe director, Pat Wood, who's with us today. Thank you for being with us. We have an excellent partnership with our Virginia Education Association and our Pulaski Education Association, so we certainly appreciate that partnership. At this time, it's an honor to introduce, and I've had the opportunity to visit her classroom several times, but our Teacher of the Year last year, it's an honor to introduce Angela Arnold, who will give our welcoming remarks, followed by Nick Donaldson, who is our Pulaski County Public Schools Employee of the Year, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Mrs. Arnold.
It is my privilege to welcome you to the 2014-2015 school year. I hope that all of you have experienced wonderful and unforgettable times during the summer. I'm sure your thoughts have been geared toward the beginning of the school year, which promises new ideas, experiences, and achievements. Teaching is a complex profession, which demands a broad knowledge of the subject matter, a caring attitude, a love of teaching, and a desire to make a difference in the lives of students. We are no longer just supervisors. We are mediators of learning and role models who share our own learning experiences with our students. We have been called to inspire our students by being inventive and creative during the learning process. Let's inspire them this year to be problem solvers. By doing so, they can be involved in exploring their studies from many different angles. Let's uncover their talents that every student have and fuel their greatness which exists in us all. I'm reminded daily by a quote that hangs in my classroom by Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. These words are especially meaningful today when it is important to undergo change through involvement, commitment, sharing, and interacting. The importance of active involvement in learning, including both teachers and students, should be our common goal. Let the common year be remembered and celebrated as a year of creative involvement so we can accomplish our vision to reach each child. Thank you.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
And you may rise again. Please stand for our national anthem performed by the Mighty Cougar Band.
Good morning. Welcome to 2014-2015 school year. We hope that you're going to have a great school year. This morning you're going to be entertained, hopefully, inspired, and possibly even win some prizes as the PCHS Fine Arts Department, including band, choir, and drama, present some special things for you. We hope that you enjoy yourselves and have a great time. First off, we have several young men. One was having to switch out a band into common person at this point. Last year we were able to do the show Footloose, and during the performance of Footloose there was a great song that was called Mama Says. The people that were involved in that decided, well, why don't we, to start the school year, do Teacher Says? So now we present, with the music from Footloose, Teacher Says.
My teachers ain't been wrong yet, and I'm the living proof. Teacher says don't use a toaster while standing in the shower. Now who could argue with that? Teacher says don't hold your breath for longer than an hour. Let people know where it's at. Teacher says it doesn't matter if you're a king. Now, y'all ain't never met my teachers, but these fellas over here have. Come on and help me out, boys. Teacher says, don't drink hot coffee lying down in bed. Don't even give it a thought. Teacher says, never eat anything that's bigger than your head. Are they a whiz or what? Teacher says, it doesn't matter if you're a king. Drive up a mountain, you can't back down. No, once you drive up a mountain, you can't back down. Now teachers make a lot of sense if you know how to listen. They're clear and concise, they're concise. Daddy says, now listen son, that teacher's got bolts missing. But I said, hey, advice, and what do you expect at that price? Teacher says,
don't buy a chandelier unless you got a ceiling. Now I don't know what that's about. Don't chew on tinfoil unless you like that feeling. Somehow they figured that out. And teacher says it doesn't matter if you're a king or you're a clown. 'Cause once you drive up a mountain, you can't back down. You can turn up the heat, turn up the roll, you can carry a beat, you can carry a load. A child, you can bring up your life. 1, 2, 3. Teacher says it doesn't matter if you drive a hard bargain or drive around town. Once you drive up a mountain, you can't back down. Once you drive up a mountain, you can't back down.
Now, my students are going to be judges now because teacher says just says one thing to me. A giant game of teacher says. Yes, there are free prizes. And all you have to do is pay attention to what we say. If it's teacher says, you do it. If it's not teacher says, you don't do it. They're going to be the judges and they'll tell you to sit down. Now, if you want to just sit down when you don't know an answer, it's okay. But the top 5 people get to come up and you possibly win a prize. So, ready, set, where are your leaders? Teacher says stand up.
Teacher says raise your hand.
Put it down. Oh, sit down. Didn't say teacher says.
Teacher says put your hand down.
Teacher says say good morning.
Say how are you? No?
Some people did. Teacher says shake hands.
All right, give a high five. Oh.
If you gave a high five, sit down. Teacher says say thank you.
Teacher says say you're welcome.
Teacher says yell your name.
Say the person's name that's sitting beside you.
Didn't work. So teacher says do the wave. Start over here. Go that way. Teacher says start the wave. Teacher says take it back.
Teacher says say the capital of Virginia. That was a hard one.
Say the capital of Tennessee. Oh, you were good.
Ooh, I heard some band people say.
Oh, there were band people, she said, that said it.
Teacher says say the capital of North Dakota.
If you knew Bismarck, you could stay standing. If you didn't, you got to sit down.
So many people sitting there.
Some people didn't learn in 4th grade like I did. Okay, next one.
Teacher says say the square root of 49. Oh.
If you didn't get 7, sit down. Say what's the square root of 144?
Oh.
If you said 12, sit down, because I didn't say teacher says. Go.
Teacher says stretch your arms to the sky.
Stretch down low. If you stretch down low, we didn't say teacher says.
Teacher says put away your cell phone that you're texting on right now.
Teacher says you can put your hands down.
Teacher says hold your breath.
Pat your head.
Oh, they're good. Rub your belly.
Clap your hands.
Oh, no one. Teacher says you can stop holding your breath now.
Teacher says tie your shoe or buckle them, whichever one you have, you know.
Teacher says take a step to the left.
Step to the right. Oh, saw ya. You made it far, but didn't make it too far.
Teacher says hold up a pen or pencil.
Oh, you better find one quick. Good job. Teacher says if you don't have one, you got to sit down. So there you go.
Teacher says sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
You are awesome. Sing the ABC song loudly. Oh, good.
Okay, play the air guitar. No?
Teacher says, spell meteorology to somebody that happens to be near you, and if you don't spell it correctly, they're going to tell you to sit down. Meteorology. Do you want me to say that one? Teacher says, tell someone who's your favorite Doctor Who. And if you don't know who Doctor Who is, you got to sit down. We're going to go over here. Oh, teacher says you can put your hand down that has the pen or the pencil in it. Okay? Let's see.
Teacher says if you're still in the game, high five a judge in one of the aisles.
That's the students that are standing out there. And teacher says, come to the front with the person you just high-fived. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 people left. Get ready. Watch them like a hawk. Teacher says, say the alphabet backwards. Listen, judges, go in front of them. Okay, I've got 5 left. Oh, you messed up? Okay, our 5 finalists now have, the 5 finalists have all won a season pass to the PCHS Theater season this year. But we are going for the first place winner who will win a $25 gift card to their favorite restaurant. Judges, you step in front of them and sit down so that you can watch these people that are left. Teacher says turn around. Teacher says raise your hand. You all just stop. Okay. Teacher says stop turning around because you already stopped turning around. Put your hands down. Teacher says say how many quarter notes are in 2 half notes. 4 was the right answer. So both of you win the $25 gift card. Great job. You have your mics? Ready? You can go sit down. After we finish today, please come and see me and you will get your gift certificates and all so that we can give them to you. Congratulations. Thank you all for playing. Now we will have some entertainment provided by the PCHS Choral Department.
Good morning and welcome to a new school year from the PCHS Choral Department. We realize that the world of education can sometimes feel like a battle. Creating lesson plans for a 90-minute class only to be told that there will now be an assembly which changes classes to 60-minute classes. Attending so many required meetings that you can't seem to remember if it is a PLC or a CLT when to be honest you just need some TLC. Or like the choir behind me, you have more singers not show up than did show up for today's performance. Yes, the school year can be a fight, but we want to encourage you to rise up to the challenges ahead of you, to go the distance for your students, and to never give up on your dreams of changing the lives of so many students in the Pulaski County school system. You are heroes, and we dedicate this song to the fighter in each of you. Please enjoy Eye of the Tiger.
As we enter into another school year, there will be many special memories that you will hold dear to your heart. The note from Sally that declared you to be the best teacher in the entire world, not to mention her best friend. The joy you felt when Johnny passed his math SOL after taking it 7 times. And the pride you felt when your students succeeded at giving back to the community after their canned food drive. However, as educators, there are many things that we have to let go from time to time. A student's comment that hurt your feelings, the realization that there are things your students deal with that Marzana's strategies can't fix. And the fact that your paycheck will never reflect your true worth. For these situations and all others you will encounter, we encourage you to remember the sacredness of what you do and let it go.
Isolation
To those sitting in this room today, we would like to wish each of you a wonderful school year. May all your emails be returned in a timely manner. May your purchase orders all be approved. And may you leave and return with the same number of students on all your field trips. And when you look back on this year, may you be able to sincerely say, I've had the time of my life.
It's the truth.
Well, last year you got the chance to hear and see some really wonderful quotes, and they inspired people for the school year. This year we decided to go a little bit differently. So we have some fables that may not be your regular fables that you're familiar with. We call them beastly fables with fresh morals. Based on the book Squids Will Be Squids by John Sieska and Lane Smith, we will be presenting some wonderful, different fables with wonderful morals so that you'll be able to go out into the school year and be prepared. And you know, whatever comes to you, you'll be ready to handle that situation through things like this.
Fables have been around for thousands of years, and it's no wonder because even thousands of years ago, people were bright enough to figure out that you could gossip about anybody as long as you changed their name to something like lion or mouse or donkey first. This book, or this play, Squids Will Be Squids, is a collection of fables that Aesop might have told if he were alive today and sitting in the back of a class, daydreaming and goofing around instead of paying attention and correcting his homework like he was supposed to. Because his dog ate it and he didn't have time to run out and buy new paper and do it over again before his bus came to pick him up in the morning. These are beastly fables with fresh morals about all kinds of bossy, sneaky, funny, annoying, dim bulb people, but nobody I really know, really. Moral: sometimes the names are changed to protect the not so innocent.
One morning, Fruit Loops and Toast were arguing over who was loved the most.
Well, of course everyone loves Toast the most,
Said Toast.
I'm half of eggs and toast, and all of the toast in French toast. Of course everyone loves me.
We'll soon find out.
Said Fruit Loops.
Because I am a great source of 11 essential vitamins and minerals based on a 20% of your daily minimum requirements, including vitamin C, iron, thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, vitamin B6, folate, vitamin B12, and zinc.
Not including the milk.
I also have 1 gram of dietary fiber per serving, and 12 grams of sugar. Yellow dye number 6, blue dye number 1, and red dye number 40. BHT has been added to preserve freshness.
As they continued to argue, Mom had a cup of coffee.
I think I'll have a cup of coffee.
Dad had a cup of tea.
I think I'll have a cup of tea.
Daughter ate a donut. And brother decided to grab a gluten-free bagel on his way to school due to a gluten allergy.
I think I'll grab a bagel on the way to school.
Fruit Loops got cold and soggy. Toast got hard and stiff. Moral of the story: breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
One bright and sunny day, Grasshopper came home from school, dropped his backpack, and was just about to run outside to meet his friends.
Where are you going?
Asked his mom.
Out to meet some friends.
Do you have any homework due tomorrow?
Just one little history thing. I did the rest in class.
Okay,
Said Mom Grasshopper.
be back at 6 for dinner.
Grasshopper hung out with his friends. Came home promptly at 6, ate his dinner, and then took out his history homework. His mom read the assignment and freaked out.
Rewrite 12 Greek myths as Broadway musicals, write music for songs, design and build all sets, solo original costume-free production. How long have you known about this?
I don't know.
Moral. There are plenty of things to say to calm a hopping, mad grasshopper mom. I don't know is not one of them.
Deer, mouse, rabbit, and squid sat on the steps trying to decide what to do.
Let's go see a movie.
Said deer.
Great.
Said mouse.
Great.
Said rabbit.
There's nothing good on.
Said squid.
Let's go play frisbee.
Said mouse.
Great.
Said rabbit.
Great.
Said deer.
My tentacles are too tired.
Said squid.
Let's go shopping.
Said rabbit.
Great.
Said deer.
Great.
Said mouse.
That's so boring.
Said squid.
I'm just gonna go home.
And she oozed off down the street. Deer, mouse, and rabbit looked at each other.
Great!
They said. Then they ran off to see a movie. Play frisbee in the park. And go shopping. And the moral of the story is, squids will be squids.
Little Walrus's mom told her to always tell the truth. One day, the phone rang. Little Walrus was the only one home, so she answered it.
Hello?
Said Little Walrus.
Hello, Little Walrus.
Said Whale.
Is your mother home? No.
Said Little Walrus.
She's out having the hair taken off her lip.
The moral of the story is, you should always tell the truth. But if your mom is out having the hair removed from her lip, you should probably forget a few of the details.
It was the end of summer vacation. Straw had done everything he could think of, but he was bored, so he went over to play with someone he had been warned to stay away from.
Hey, let's play checkers.
Said Straw.
Okay, but I get to be the red ones. I get to move first. I get 2 moves and you get 1.
Said Matches.
Let's play ping pong instead.
Said Straw.
Okay, well I get the good paddle. You have to stand over there. I get to serve first, and you have to close one eye.
Said Matches.
Let's just watch the TV. Okay, but I get to sit on the couch. You have to sit on the floor. I get the remote, and we have to watch my favorite video.
Said Matches.
I think I heard my mom calling.
Said Straw.
I gotta go.
Moral of the story, don't play with matches.
Rock, paper, and scissors were assigned to be partners for the big end-of-the-year science project. Rock thought up the idea for the project.
I thought of the idea.
Paper drew all of the charts, graphs, and illustrations.
I drew the charts, graphs, and illustrations.
Scissor did the research and the presentation.
I did the research and presentation.
It wasn't a very good project, and they didn't work very hard on it. So they got a C.
See, really? Gosh, you guys.
You should have done more research.
Said Rock, hitting Scissors.
Oh, yeah? Well, you should have drawn more illustrations.
Said Scissors, cutting paper.
Well, you should have thought of a better idea.
Said Rock, covering paper. Said Paper, covering Rock. Moral of the story. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. It wasn't my fault.
Duck-billed platypus versus beef snack stick.
Well, I have a bill like a duck and a tail like a beaver.
Brag duck-billed platypus.
Who cares?
Said beef snack stick.
I have beef, soy protein concentrate, and dextrose.
Well, I have webbed feet and fur.
Said duck-billed platypus.
So what?
Said beef snack stick.
I have sodium nitrate, sodium ascorbate, and smoke flavoring.
Well, I'm one of the only two mammals who lays eggs.
Said duck-billed platypus.
Big deal.
Said beef snack stick.
I have beef lips.
Moral. Just because you have a lot of stuff, don't think you're so special.
We called the performance today Convopalooza. But wow, we have some talented students. This time I'd like to, yes, and thank each and every one of you for your role in building that talent. I'd like to call on Christian Miller. He's our STEM teacher and STEM instructor at the high school to come forward at this time, and he's bringing a student with him to demonstrate. We titled this STEM Mania. Christian Miller and Robin Dave Leary, a student at Pulaski County High School.
It's nice for y'all to, it's nice for y'all to have us up here to say a few words and show off one of our party tricks. We're going to be brief, I promise you that. So, good morning, I'm Christian Miller. I teach high schoolers engineering and material science in the STEM Academy at PCHS, part of the Career and Technical Education program. This year we took on some exciting, some applause for the CTE Center, that's right. I like that. This year we took on some exciting projects as part of our survey of engineering. I wanted to share 3 of them with you. Sam Norris, who is currently packing his bags to head to the Virginia Military Institute's engineering program, built a full-size counterbalance trebuchet from his own plans, which at the end of the semester, the trebuchet was consistently placing softballs, tennis balls, lemons, oranges, really anything we could fit into the sling, placing them a football field away within a couple feet of each other consistently. But the only focus of our program wasn't siege weaponry. We took on some other things too. If you were spending time on the banks of the New last Thursday, you may have seen 2 more alumni of the class of 2014, Daniel Safright and Jake Tabor, paddling downriver in a beautiful 16-foot, 2-seat cedar strip canoe. They devoted their entire senior year designing, milling, assembling, and finishing that canoe. Though the top coat lacked some touch-up work, it probably would have earned an F in Mr. Fleshman's auto body class. Though it lacked some finish work, and the paddles were store-bought despite our highest hopes, we ran out of time. These 2 students spent one of their last days before attending Virginia Tech's School of Engineering and the School of Construction, respectively, reminiscing of high school, remembering their outstanding senior baseball season, lying about bites they weren't getting on their fishing lines, and enjoying the fruits of their labor in a watercraft they built with their own hands. It floated, and they didn't even have to bail water. So those are just 2 of the dozens of projects students took on. Some failed miserably. Some kept me up at night with worry. You're about to see one of them. Some taught lessons which I could never have perceived when I set out to plan the course. All were tangible, all challenged us at times, all gave us reasons to celebrate, and each one of us came back the next day ready to try again, to face what lay before us, and to work together. Our resident mad scientist, Dave Leary, some of you probably know him as Robin, has come. I asked him to come demonstrate his project from Engineering 1, an air-powered t-shirt launcher. It gets better. So after Dave completed this first version, the one you're going to see today, the working one, he took on this summer, last year and is working on this summer, a 10-barrel Gatling gun style t-shirt launcher that can shoot 10 t-shirts from a compressed air tank. It's going to be something impressive. That will be ready for a homecoming game. So when we set out to make this device, we wanted to be able to shoot t-shirts across Dobson Stadium. So this arena is a little smaller than our tolerances that we designed, so bear with us as we try and adapt, and forgive us if our aim is poor. Enough of my talking. Did we have to pay a deposit or anything on the ceiling tiles, or we're good? All right, let me go back here and help him, and if you want to try and catch a t-shirt, you'd probably better be in the back corner there. Thank y'all. Forgive us for that underwhelming performance. We were leaking air during the other performances. So if you want to check out the big one, we'll have it ready to go for the pep rally, and hopefully you'll read about us somewhere. So thank y'all.
Still got the arm. It's a great pleasure to recognize our senior address this year, who's going to be given by Ania Austin, and she is president or chairman of our Student Advisory Council. This time, Ania, would you come forward and give our senior address?
Good morning. I'm Ania Austin, and I've reached a destination more than 12 years in the making. I'm a senior at Pulaski County High School, and I'm beyond excited. Being asked to speak here this morning has caused me to stop, think, and analyze where I've come from, where I've been, where I am now, and where I hope to go. I do not want to talk too much about the future right now. This destination has to be talked about first. You all know this. It's one of your first real-life accomplishments. You become a senior, and then naturally, hopefully, you go on to graduate. I'm a senior at Pulaski County High School. Wow, I'm proud of myself and the class of 2015. It's a time that has finally arrived for me. You see, it's always been about older students. I certainly noticed them and thought about them as seniors. I always thought that they had something admirable about them, something that was in the distant future. It was always somebody else. And now, finally, it's me, my friends, and my classmates. We've arrived. Now someone else will be looking at us in awe, and I hope that everyone will look at us with admiration. But in trying to come up with words to speak here this morning, I also thought about the journey to this destination. You don't do a journey alone. I realized that along the way, there have been a lot of people helping me with all sorts of different facets of the trip to become a senior. There are people who have been a support system for me. My family and friends support me in every decision. They understand goals are key. My family has demonstrated to me the power of education and how it helps to attain a good quality of life. My grandparents, being educators, push the importance of learning. They always let me know I'm capable to do whatever I set my mind to. I have older friends and acquaintances that give me glimpses of what my future could be like. My pastor, Sharon Bowers, is a powerful woman, and I have older friends of our family like Lonnie Miller, who is in medical school, and Jody Mans, who has her own bus company in Washington, D.C. What these people all have in common besides being role models for me is that they have good education. Except for Reverend Bowers, they received their initial educations from Pulaski County schools. Family and friends make up half of the group that I would like to recognize as very important people in my journey into becoming a senior. The other half would be my teachers. Without elaborating, I would like to thank the following: Miss Abbott, Miss Dalton, Miss Alls, Miss Jill Jones, Miss Johnson, Miss Hagee, Mr. Dalton, Miss Lavery, Mr. Atwood, Miss Wade, Miss Brewster, Miss Taylor, Miss Meredith Jones, Miss Childress, Miss Boer, Miss Goad, Miss Hamlin, Miss Deshawn, Mr. Price, Miss Blevins, Miss Halstead, and Miss Yato. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank all of my teachers for instructing me, showing me, for helping me, and for encouraging me. While I might not have always appreciated what you had us do, homework, tests, projects, papers, and the like, I realize you are shaping me and preparing me for future journeys. I thank you with all my heart.
Wonderful speech, Ania. Thank you. You know, we wanted to bring in this year someone to get our students pumped up for graduation. So we wanted to go to the best coaching staff in the United States of America. And so we wanted to do it from a collegiate standpoint. So we didn't include high school. So we went over to Blacksburg and they turned us down. So then we decided to go down into Tuscaloosa, Alabama, And we pulled a guy out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama by the name of Scotty Scott. And he's going to coach us up for graduation. Where are you, Scotty? Coach Scott.
Back here. Woohoo. In the sound booth.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, Coach Scott, take it away.
All right. Good morning, fellow educators, and welcome to the 2014 and 15 school year, a year where we as classroom coaches strive to help our students achieve All-American status. At this time, I would like to announce a sample of our Pulaski County Academic All-American team. So, ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet and we welcome our All-Americans. Our first All-American comes from Dublin, Virginia, standing 5'4", representing Pulaski County High School in the graduating class of 2015, with hopes of attending Radford University, Hannah Lester. Next up from Dublin, Virginia, standing 5'6", representing Pulaski County High School in the graduating class of 2016, with hopes of attending Radford University, Meredith Mitchell. From Fair Lawn, Virginia, standing 5'3", representing Pulaski County High School in the graduating class of 2017, with hopes of attending UVA, Skylar Johnston. From Dublin, Virginia, standing 5'7", representing Pulaski County High School in the graduating class of 2018, with hopes of attending Virginia Tech, Taylor Sink. From Dublin, Virginia, standing 5'3½", representing Dublin Middle School and the graduating class of 2019, hoping to attend the University of North Carolina, Mackenzie Landreth. From Pulaski, Virginia, standing 5'5", representing Pulaski Middle School and the graduating class of 2019, hoping to attend Radford University, Aaliyah Ba. From Fair Lawn, Virginia, standing 5'4", representing Dublin Middle School and the graduating class of 2020, hoping to attend Radford University, Austin Rollison. From Pulaski, Virginia, standing 4'5", representing Pulaski Middle School in the graduating class of 2021, hoping to attend Virginia Tech, Christopher Polcha. From Fair Lawn, Virginia, standing 4 foot, representing Dublin Elementary School in the graduating class of 2022, hoping to attend Radford University, Molly Singleton. From Pulaski, Virginia, standing 4'10", representing Chrysler Elementary School in the graduating class of 2023, hoping to attend Virginia Tech, Olivia Byers. From Fair Lawn, Virginia, standing 4'2", representing Riverlawn Elementary School in the graduating class of 2024, hoping to attend Radford University, Madison Taylor. Also from Fair Lawn, Virginia, standing 4 foot, representing Dublin Elementary School in the graduating class of 2025, hoping to attend Radford University, Robert Thatcher Singleton. From Draper, Virginia, standing 3'7", representing Snowville Elementary School in the graduating class of 2026, hoping to attend Virginia Tech, Adler Pasilico. From Pulaski, Virginia, standing 3'4". From Pulaski Elementary School in the graduating class of 2027, hoping to attend Duke University, Charlie Ann Hamblin. And from Max Meadows, Virginia, standing 4'2", from Kreiser Elementary, graduating in 2028, hoping to attend Virginia Tech, Dawson Litton. Ladies and gentlemen, how about one more big round of applause for our Pulaski County Academic All-Americans. Best of luck to these and all of our students in the upcoming school year.
As you can imagine, we're going to focus on graduation, on-time graduation. I'd like to thank the students and the parents for coming out today and representing our graduating classes. Let's give them another round of applause. It's an honor for me to have the opportunity to introduce our chairman of the Pulaski County School Board, Mr. Mike Barber, and to express my appreciation for the board and for the school board being so employee-centered and so educational focused. Thank you all. And at this time, I'll introduce Mike Barber, who's going to introduce the other board members.
For those of you all who were here last year, you remember I told Dr. Brewster, put the school board on the agenda prior to all the students because it's definitely a tough act to follow. I am Mike Barber, and it's my privilege to represent the Ingalls District of Pulaski County on the school board. Let me introduce my distinguished fellow school board members. Starting here in front of me, Mr. Joseph Guthrie. He represents the Cloyd District. Ms. Frances Myers, the Robinson District. Linda Hill, the Draper District. Last but not least, Mr. Jeff Bain, representing the Massey District. It's truly the privilege of all of us to have an opportunity to serve the young people of Pulaski County as school board members. Dr. Brewster told me last week that I could make some very, very brief remarks. And you know, this is a really tough audience because there's, you know, I practice law for a living. I go to courts and see judges and juries all the time, and you know, there's not a group of people I respect more than educators. So it's definitely a tough audience. But what I would like to do is talk for a couple of minutes about power. And it's not the power that is associated with wealth. You know, that type of power comes and goes with the money. And it's not the type of power that is associated with a political office. That type of power comes and goes with that office. What I want to talk about, I think, is real power. And I want to give you an example, type of power I'm talking about. There's a woman that lives out on Brookmont Road in Pulaski. I'm not going to say her name. She'd be embarrassed. But she's elderly, and she's white-haired, and she's frail, very frail. And she's not someone that you would look at and ever associate with being a powerful person. I've known her for over 45 years. And, you know, 45 years ago, she was kind of frail. And she didn't look like, visually, someone that you would associate with the word powerful, visually powerful. But yet, I don't think there's been a week during the last almost 50 years of my life that I haven't, at some point during the week, thought about something that this woman said to me, some type of guidance she offered, some advice, and I guess most significantly, the sense of caring that she exhibited some 40 plus years ago as my high school guidance counselor at a little high school about 30 miles from here. And, you know, I'm not unique in my experience with this person, because I realize that she shaped an entire generation and had an impact on really everybody I knew growing up, and people that came before me and after me in my community. Had a really significant impact on our future, my future, and really our entire lives. And that, ladies and gentlemen, you know, that's real power. The power to impact a student, the power to set a student on the course to their future, the power to help shape and guide the student's entire life as they become a young adult, middle age, a parent. It's an extraordinary power. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's what every one of you have. You have that. And it's not a power that everyone has. It's a power that educators have. So here's the message. First of all, every single day that you get up in the morning and get ready to go to school, understand and recognize that you have that very real power. And here's the second part of it, and this is the conclusion. Not only recognize you have that power, use it. Use it freely, use it without hesitation, use it every single chance that you have. By doing so, you're going to guide the students, the young people of this county into the future, and you are providing the most extraordinary benefit that you can possibly provide to our community. So on behalf of the school board, welcome to the 2014-2015 school year. We wish you every success. If you have a question or a problem, talk to your principal. Then go on up the ladder, and you know, if you see me at the grocery store parking lot or any of my colleagues, you know, seem like I'm available in the parking lot food line for about an hour every Saturday afternoon. But, you know, if you have a problem or a concern, express it. If you have a suggestion, offer it. You know, we need to communicate effectively with one another, something we need to continually strive for. But thank you very much. Have a great school year.
Thank you, Mr. Barber. At this time, we'd like to introduce our PCEA president, Ms. Angela Clevenger.
Good morning. I am Angela Clevenger, President of the Pulaski County Education Association. Before you start worrying about me being in a wheelchair, I fell walking across the floor. The company nurse number at our school is called Angie's Nurse. But I didn't do this at school. I did it over vacation. But don't worry, I'll be back in my classroom in 2 weeks. Again, my name is Angela Clevenger, and I'm president of the Pulaski County Education Association. Welcome to the new school year. Welcome to being a part of a public education system which educates each child. Why is public education an integral part of the fabric of American life? Because quality public education is a cornerstone of democracy. It is the gateway for molding productive citizens who have the knowledge and the skills to contribute to a great society. Public education is our promise to the future. Together, we are essential to keeping this promise in our community. Teachers, parents, education professionals, administration, community sponsors, and a plethora of other caring individuals are essential to keeping the promise in our community. We must remember, together we form a team to fulfill this promise. Looking out at you guys associated with Pulaski County Public Schools, I can tell you from personal experience, because I came from here and you helped me. I can tell you from personal experience, you keep the promise every day. Your work, our work, is nothing short of miraculous. You keep the promise when you get up every morning determined to make a difference in the lives of your students. You keep the promise when you take your own money and pay for supplies for your students. You keep the promise when you remain dedicated to make learning fun despite the horrendous amounts of assessments you are required to give. You keep the promise every year you choose to remain a part of a profession which is frequently judged and attacked, a profession which is not compensated fairly, a profession which everyone thinks they know everything about. Yet the majority of the populace truly doesn't understand what it is we actually do. I'll tell you what we do. We make a difference. We change our communities and our world for the better. So never say, I'm just a teacher, like it's nothing. You guys are awesome. And it's time we hold our heads up and tell our side of the story. It's time to tell the truth. The vision of the Virginia Education Association is a great public school for every child in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Our members unite in our community to prepare every student to realize his or her potential. This can be accomplished through advocacy for students, education professionals, and support personnel. The education community has a mighty voice to call for and effect needed changes in the education arena. Association lobbying efforts at the General Assembly resulted in reduced number of standards of learning tests, commitment by the state to a 3-year plan to fully reduce the number of standard learning tests and to fully fund the Virginia retirement system, saved continuing contract, due processing rights. We won grievance procedure rights for education support personnel and got strong anti-bullying language written into the Code of Virginia, to name a few. Wow. I would like my PCEA members to turn to your neighbor and say, now that's my association. I like that. Say it louder. Collectively, and as individuals, we make a difference in the lives of our students and our communities every day. We must be an active part of that process in order to keep the education promise. No organization can equal the voice VEA members have in public education and in Virginia. Our association has a 150-year track record for advocacy and respect. If you didn't get to profess that the PCEA, VEA, NEA is your association, I want to extend an invitation to you to become a member. Look at all the benefits you get, and not to belong is like taking credit for a collective gift given to which you didn't make any contribution. Together we are stronger. Together we accomplish much. Who knows better what is the best for education than we? Education professionals, we who are in the trenches every day. Who are the experts? We teach, we learn, we lead. We know that our expertise and judgment are critical to student success. We deserve the status, compensation, and respect due all professionals. You owe it to yourself to be a part of your professional organization, the Pulaski County Education Association. I finish today with a quote from Barbara Jordan. What the people want is very simple. They want an America as good as its promise. The same is true for public education. Thank you.
Welcome. I'm Shirley Perry. I'm the Director of Human Resources. I'm proud to announce today that we have 31 new teachers joining our school division this year. They are talented, they are experienced, and they are committed to excellence. When I say 31 new teachers, they're not new in experience. They range from first year to over 20 years of experience. They come from outside the state of Virginia. One comes from Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, and West Virginia, to name a few. They come from surrounding school divisions. We stole some from Carroll County, Wythe County, Franklin County, Smith, Scott, Botetourt County, Tazewell. So we are stealing them from all over. So we're proud of that. So we are offering something that we are attracting people to Pulaski County. Not only are we attracting, but we are retaining teachers. So we are doing something right here. We are very, very proud of what we've got going on, and we have knocked it out of the park again this year with our teachers that are coming to this school division. So without further ado, I'd like to announce these new teachers coming to our school division, and when I announce your name, please stand and remain standing so we can look at you. Okay, Kreiser Elementary, Candace Davis. Catherine Jones. Dublin Elementary, Leanna Akers. Brittany Edwards. Kim Gills. Pulaski Elementary, Morgan Pisani. Riverlawn Elementary, Emily Church, Samantha Worrell, Riverlawn Elementary, Amy Burrell, Amanda Marshall, Dublin Middle, Kelsey Beavers, Caitlin McCroskey, Ben Mullins, Pulaski Middle, Lana Flowers, Sarah Polcha, Amanda Price, Cindy Root, Caitlin Taylor, Amanda Wolf, Pulaski County High School, Derek Burton, Rob Colley, Kim Gardner, Andrew Hart, Stephen James, Kelly Loughlin, Leslie Mitchell, Bobby Petty, Matthew Shrewsbury, Brad Sutphin, Anna Tickle, Kayla Wooten. Please join me in a big round of applause. Have a wonderful year, and please do not hesitate. We are here to support you. Reach out. You have teachers in your school building. You have central office personnel. We are here as a support system. Have a wonderful year. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Greg Brown, Assistant Superintendent. I have a few announcements to make, but before I get into that, a special thank you again to Christian, Matthew, Angie, and Jeff, and students. We appreciate you being with us today. As far as announcements are concerned, back to school night, tomorrow night at Calfee Park. We have a wonderful set of prizes, iPads, iPods, laptop computers, and so forth we're going to be giving away. We have gift cards and so forth from some of our restaurants in the area. So please share that with your students tomorrow. Principals will try to get that word out through an all-call. It's because we'd like to have a wonderful, wonderful evening again. Last year it was the second most attended contest of the year for the Mariners, and we want to, of course, do as equally well, if not better, this year. So please get that word out. If I would have my vendors please to come forward and visit with us and our friends from the National Bank. We'll go ahead and present a few prizes. All right, Miss Kathy Waller is with us from Valak, and we have 5 $20 gift cards to give out.